Thank you to my channel members, Phil, Ryan Eckersley, and Crystal Cuba. It's a new year, and I'm going to use a brand new statistic to measure the 10 best cubers in the world. Most people would use sum of ranks or Kinch score to measure who the best cubers are, but I'm going to use the aggregate of 3 statistics. I'm taking the world rankings of solvers in sum of ranks single, sum of ranks average, and their Kinch score. Some might complain that involving the Kinch score would bias the list towards blindfolded specialists. I'd say I don't care, I'm doing this for content.
Sets on a truck. 1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go.
But before we hop into the list, I would like to drop an honourable mention to the person who missed out on the top 10 by a narrow margin, losing out by just 2 points, Max Shaw. I'm sure most people know him as the squad guy, but he is in fact quite the all-rounder. Ranked 11th, 12th and 8th for sum of ranks single, sum of ranks average and Kinch, Noah is a formidable all-rounder. He's also managed to achieve all of this in just 66 competitions, the second least of anyone in this list. Noah is best at the blind events. He's world rank 14 and 18 for 3 blind single and mean, as well as rank 19 for 4 blind single. But at time of recording, he is also a top player in square 1, being ranked 25th in the world for squad single. You see, I told a little bit of a lie there, because top player means you're in the top 25 in the world for average at an event, but I'm going to apply that title to single as well, because it allows me to present the stats in a more interesting way. Being exactly 25th, he is the guardian of top player status. You have to go through him to get it. Other standout rankings for Noah include 5 blind mean, multi-blind, and FMC mean. He actually has a pretty interesting pattern going on, where his worst rankings are on the odd n by ns, 3, 5, and 7. As it stands, he has no titles, but he's been on the podium for 3 blind and FMC in the 2024 North American Championship. Ranked 10th, 8th and 11th for sum of single, sum of average and Kinch, Tron is just 2 points ahead of Noah. An interesting specialist event pool, his best world rankings are in 4 and 5 blind, square 1, clock, and 2x2. Unlike Noah, Chuan has some titles to his name, many former titles, but more interestingly, the current Malaysian champion for FMC, 2x2, one-handed, pyramids, and square 1. Chuan's weakest rankings are his 3x3, his 2x2 single, and his skew average. Ranked 8th, 11th and 12th in sum of rank single, sum of rank average and Kinch, the Argentine angel Theo Golubov has a profile littered with national and some continental records. He also has 15 top 100 rankings in the world over 9 different events. He even has 3 top 25 rankings, all of them being for single, but he's 12th for 4x4, 18th for one-handed, and 15th for pyramids. This is your current South American champion for 5x5, 7x7, and one-handed. And he's your current Argentinian champion for every M by N, 2 through 7, and one-handed. He's also done all of this in just 61 competitions, the least out of anybody on this list. But as good as he may be, everybody has their weaknesses. Theo's worst rankings are in FMC, clock, square 1, and multi-blind. These might seem like a random selection of events, but in my eyes, these are all events with relatively few transferable skills, so Theo has probably spent less time actively focusing on them. Ranked 7th, 7th and 4th for sum of ranks single, sum of ranks average and Kinch, Carter has long since been one of the best all-rounders, although he might be better known for his Scube results. And it makes sense. Former American Scube champion, runner-up for World Scube champion, and 4 Scube world records. His specialty is clear. He's our first genuine top player on the list, being top 25 in the world for average on both Scube and fewest moves. He also has quite a few top 50 rankings, and very few rankings that stick out as being bad. Perhaps both mega results being outside of the top 300 could be considered a weakness, as well as his high ranking numbers in the 7x7x7 cube event and for 4x4 average. Ranked 5th, 6th and 5th again in sum of ranks single, sum of ranks average and Kinch, Firstian is Indonesia's idol. He He currently holds 20 NRs for Indonesia, over 14 of the 17 unique WCA events. Even more impressively, he has top 100 world rankings, either single or average, in 13 of the 17 total events. He is a top player in 5x5, 6x6, and fewest moves, as well as a fake cheat top player in 7x7 and 4x4. In fact, he is the former tied FMC World Champion circa 2019 through 2023. Ranked 8th, 5th, and 1st for Sum of Ranks Single, Sum of Ranks Average, and Kinch, the big boss of Big Blind will round out the top 5. He's the first solver on our list to have more than one current world record. Stanley has been the guy for 4 and 5 blind for about half a decade now. Out of the combined 33 rankings that exist on a full WCA profile, only 12 of Stanley's are above 200th in the world. Only 2 of those are above 300th in the world. What makes Stanley's place in the list more interesting is that he has a lot less of the single and double-digit world rankings, but he also has no significant weaknesses. His strengths are also very good strengths to have. 4 blind, 5 blind, and multi-blind are all events where a few people, or just one person, Stanley, lead the pack by a large margin. This means that being highly ranked in these events is super beneficial for your Kinch score, which helps Chapel because he has all 4 world records in 4 and 5 blind, and he's 6th in the world in multi-blind. This is a guy with 2 current world championships and the reigning 4 blind world champion since 2019. Ranked 4th, 3rd, and 6th in Sum of Ranks Single, Sum of Ranks Average, and Kinch, Ryan has 18 out of 33 possible top 100 rankings. Mostly known for his Square 1 world records, he's a mean all-rounder who is very rarely outside of the top 200 in any event. It's actually kind of impressive to me that somebody who is so good at everything only has 2 world records and 0 championship podiums. His rankings are overall very strong, though it looks like he could benefit from a skew bark. Ranked 2nd for Sum of Ranks Single, 1st for Sum of Ranks Average, and 7th for Kinch, Luke Y2 Garrett is everyone's favourite cuber, managing to be a serious contender for anything he sets his mind to, while also not taking himself all too seriously. With fast solves and famous reactions, he's built up a reputation as someone who is just as entertaining as he is quick. His most recent accomplishment is taking away the number 1 spot in Sum of Ranks Average, which was previously held by Martin Ekdahl for a very, very long time. Luke is a top player in 4 events, and 22 of his 33 world rankings are in the top 100. Deep that, 2/3 of his results on his profile are below world record 100. Wow. Despite Garrett's notable results in almost every event, he's never taken home a title, and his only record is former North American record for 2x2 single. Regardless, he rounds out the podium for the best cubers at the start of this year, and I look forward to the inevitable title victory or Garrett world record. Ranked 3rd, 4th, and 2nd for Sum of Ranks Single, Sum of Ranks Average, and Kinch, most will know Tommy Cherry for his extensive world record history in 3 blind, and for his pioneering of the 7 symbol method on clock. Old heads might remember his 2018 feet world record. I will not be putting footage of that event in my video. While he doesn't have as many super low world rankings compared to other people on the podium, his rankings are incredibly stable, with only his Pyraminx rankings being above 200th in the world, and his world-class results in every blind event help a lot for his Kinch score. Cherry is the reigning world champion in clock and 3 blind, as well as the 4-year reigning North American champion in 3 blind. Ranked 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for Sum of Ranks Single, Sum of Ranks Average, and Kinch, Martin Ekdahl is still the king of cubing. The demon from Denmark used to have a vice grip on Sum of Ranks until Luke Garrett dethroned him for 1st place in Sum of Ranks Average. Regardless, Martin has still more than earned his keep at the top of the ladder. He may only have 2 world records and no world titles to speak of, with his collection of 1,207 WCA medals, 738 of which are gold, and his disgustingly low aggregate score of 6 speak for themselves. He might as well just change his name to John Cubing, because he is him. There are only 9 results on his profile that aren't in the double-digit world rankings. I repeat, out of the 33 results you get on a full WCA profile, 24 of them are in the top 100 in the world for Martin Ekdal. As good as these other cubers are, it would still take a Herculean effort to dethrone Martin, to get him off the top of the ladder, and to stop him from being in the #1 spot for another year in a row. This man has had a vice grip on cubing for longer than many people understand, because he doesn't set many world records or win many enormous championships. He's just been consistently the best at everything for a very long time.